Hello and well met, everybody. Welcome to episode of the Westgate Irregulars campaign. We are between seasons right now doing fun stuff. And tonight we have a murder mystery one-shot. And the first mystery is, it's not even being run by me. Take it away, Yang Yang.
Hi, I'm Yang Yang Wang. I am tonight's guest DM slash regularly a player. As you see, Stong is currently sleeping off dying. We decided to just give Eric a quick break for this week while I run this murder mystery one shot.
Thank you.
Now it's my turn, I think.
Yep. Now it's your turn. Sorry, I missed everybody
for someone to say my name.
Take it away, Aaron.
I'm Aaron M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, and I play Cecilia, who is definitely not a warlock. I'm also going to tell you about our sponsor real quick. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, which includes Farida, Havilar, Mehen, and also, if you want a familiar, Zuni in her new red panda skin from the Brimstone Angels saga.
It's cuteness overload.
Yeah.
Those skins are
cuteness
great.
on top cuteness.
There's also a Havilar fancy dress red panda skin. But of the red panda skins, my favorite is still Ariza, red panda, in the red panda Kigurumi. So red panda Inception, Ariza.
Don't her tails like light on fire when she does her ultimate or something?
They do. She's like got like a 9 tails Kitsune light up thing. It's great.
Yeah, it's straight up Naruto.
The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Xbox One, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. If you type in the command at the bottom of the screen, you will get a code for an Electrum chest. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check them out at idlechampions.com. It is also their summer spectacular. So if some of you are coming over from there, welcome. But we may have a more intimate audience tonight.
I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy, the Silver Series, as Rhiannon Held, and space opera as RZ Held. And I play Artemisia, half-elf sorcerer who really likes light.
Hi, I'm Emily Tang. I'm a writer and game designer at Wizards of the Coast. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in the stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast. I play Kaylin, who is a varial necromancer who's not quite undead yet.
She's mostly undead.
I like that yet.
Mostly
It's been a lot of work. I like it.
And yeah, I missed the disclaimer. Anyway, as part of our
Darkness friend.
Yes. I'm Randy Henderson and author, and I am playing Rogar Battle Baron, Dwarf Cleric, and Gaby.
And since I'm a player, I'm Eric Scott DeVee. I usually play as the DM of this campaign, but tonight I'm playing Sturge. I'm not actually Stephen Merlino, although Sturge is Stephen's character. Stephen had a medical procedure happen today, so he is sleeping that off, kind of like Stong is sleeping off being dead. And so I need to channel my best Sturge.
I wondered why you were talking about Sturge's clothes. I'm like,
Like, stop bossing.
We're all concerned with Sturge's clothes.
There's a lot of things to be concerned about with
be.
Sturge. Well, okay. So just some real quick, ground rules. I'd like to always review for Murder Mystery One Shot the difference between the perception skill and the investigate skill, because sometimes there's some confusion. So for me, perception is anything that's like your 5 senses, whereas investigation is anything that has to do with like intelligence or deduction. So if you ever need like a hint for something while we go through this, please feel free to roll a investigation check. Okay. And so are we ready to begin?
we are.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
All right. Well, you recently received an invitation to the party of a local minor lord, Lord Erdwane Shalesar. He personally extended an invitation to your group, the Westgate Irregulars, requesting the presence of the great heroes of the city for this, his most special birthday ball. You spend the day preparing to attend, choosing your outfits and practicing your ball dances. You almost miss it when the carriage rolls up and a slight, beautiful youth jumps out and opens the carriage door. You're further surprised when the carriage takes you not to any manor in the city, but outside its gates and further to the west. Hours pass by as you travel across the dirt roads, and you're still traveling when it begins to grow dark. At last, you spot a large manor on the hill in the distance. 2 stories and well kept, it appears you've finally arrived. So tonight I'm going to be running Roll20 as well as the game. So please bear with me. I do not have 4 monitors. I definitely need 2 extra monitors. But yeah, so the carriage.
Oh, nothing.
The carriage rolls up to the front of the manor house, and once again, the slight, beautiful youth steps out of the carriage door and opens it. He motions a hand for you to enter.
Oh, well, I'm happy to hop out of the cart. That cart rides are always a little hard on my palms because my feet don't reach the floorboard usually, so I'm bouncing on the seat. But I'll happily take their hand and hop out of the cart for sure. And then, try to
When you
help
grasp
others. Oh, go ahead.
When you grasp his hand, he's surprisingly strong for his slight build.
Oh.
I rolled to decide, but Cecilia fell asleep. Sorry.
This is just like a footman, or is this Erdwane? I'm sorry, I missed, somehow spaced.
Foot
You
person
haven't.
would be the term.
Okay,
Yeah.
foot person.
But he has not actually introduced himself yet, and you have not
okay.
asked his name.
Can you describe his appearance? As I'm taking his hand, like, oh, he's strong, and I look up into his eyes aye. So what does he look like?
He is a fairly tall, willowy, fair-skinned youth with dark black hair, and his features strike you as he's Shao.
Huh? And is his manner of dress seem to be like noble-ish, or like as a foot person might be dressed, or as a minor noble might be dressed?
He just got in some random guy's carriage.
Artemisia figures he's a servant, so her dress has not super long, but it has a train, so she has to sort of like gather that up, and then she gets out and like doesn't really look at the youth very much, because servant like don't have to be rude or disrespectful, but also not paying that much attention. And then she's going to be traveling in towards the manor.
Yeah, as you get out, he doesn't say anything, but he like expertly motions to pick up the back of your dress and then help you get off without any issue. Like he's used to it.
Thank
What about the rest of
How
you?
convenient, Artemisia. I'm so glad the servant was here to help you.
The servant looks at you,
Where's the
Sturge.
servant to carry my train?
He doesn't respond. He just kind of gives you this blank stare.
That is all right. I will take care of it. Sturge sweeps out of the carriage in this eloquent, long flowing gown over this tight silk undersuit that he's wearing of several of many colors. It's like a rainbow colored outfit that he has. Pink, blue, purple, white, and black are the primary colors in it. Ah, yes. Ah, what a charming castle.
He once again helps you with the flowing parts of your garment, so none of it snags or drags on the dirt.
Perfect. That is all right. I'll pick it up and throw it over my shoulder.
Artemisia's
Cecilia's still asleep.
Yeah, the youth also glances inside of the carriage, and like this entire time, he's been sort of expression. He's been very like neutral in terms of his expression, but when he catches sight of Caliph, for a moment, his eyes seem to take on a really peculiar expression, and he like looks over at you, Rogar, and he opens his mouth, and for the first time, he speaks. And his voice is light and sharp. And he says, Are those wings decoration?
Oh no, they're her a blessing of a kind, I would say.
All right.
Elven years, yes, like they are very much not decoration. They're very functional. Thank you. And then Kayla's gonna get out too, at last. She hasn't liked being in the carriage very much. It feels too much like a bird cage.
What are you wearing, Caleb? What have you worn to this grand ball?
She's wearing a red dress that looks like it's made of fish scales, like a red herring.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
No.
Nice.
She's wearing black with a lot of purple highlights because she figures it's traditional for a necromancer, and she really wants to look the part.
You're just leaning into your new job. I love it.
She's even got like little black jewels hanging off of the bones of her wings.
Oh,
Or
Ah.
Artemisia. Oh, she likes that.
Yeah, that's
Good job,
awesome.
Caleb.
She's gonna give the youth a slightly scornful look and then flap her wings just so that she like lifts off the ground a little, just so she can prove that they're not decorative.
This little cold breeze.
Rogar,
It smells of the grave.
The youth
Well,
takes a half step back as you flutter your wings and exit the carriage. Rogar, with your passive perception, you notice that there's like a small bead of a glistening of like sweat on his head as he looks
Oh.
at Caleb.
I say, do not worry, my friend. She is one of the heroes of Westgate along with us. She has done much good. And, she used to have feathers, but she couldn't fly when she did. So trust me, this is a blessing and an improvement.
He nods and then he like resumes his normal manner. But then he looks at Cecilia, still snoring away in the carriage. And
I'm rolling great, by the way.
Ah. Yes, perhaps I might be of assistance. And I shall pull out my cane with the goblin-headed head on the cane. And I poke it in very, very slowly.
Is she sleeping with her mouth open?
I hope so.
I says yes, Lo says no. She is sleeping with her mouth open.
I poke her cheek with the cane.
It's kind of like, whop.
Hi. Yes,
Which-
of course.
Like,
Flourish.
Sturge! You're like, oh, you stop.
We have arrived.
Ugh, okay. Cecilia's gonna just kind of pull herself out and look up at this house and kind of scowl at it for a second. Because I don't know what she was expecting, but that was so long that it felt like it was gonna be something really wild. So it's just a castle, it's just a house.
yeah, it's more of like a large manor than a
Okay.
castle.
Well, in
Um,
Rashomon we call these castles, so
the youth helps you out. What are you wearing?
Cecilia is wearing a dress that Artemisia has picked out for her. It is copper colored. The top is kind of long sleeves, but they're lacy. The bottom is kind of diaphanous and layered and flowing. But her hair is styled in down because she didn't let Artemisia get near it. She has added a dark blue kind of scarf around the neck because it goes kind of low, and she's like, no. And the lovely sapphire earrings that were loaned to her, she has one on and the other one's missing. And she has still got her mask.
I just realized I never just. No, go ahead.
I think when the youth also like spots your earring, and then he helps you out of the carriage, and then afterwards he says, he looks back inside the carriage and he says, "Milady Cecilia, would you like me to search for the earring that you're missing? Do you think you lost it somewhere in this carriage?"
It's gonna touch her ear and be like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It's here or it's at home.
I would not lay coin on it being in the carriage.
Sturge, did you steal my earring?
Why ever
Okay.
would you think that?
Well, for one, it's borrowed, so I'm not the one who's going to be mad at you, but
Ah.
also I'm a little mad at you. if it's in your
Borrowed
pocket.
and blue. Ah.
What is that? I don't
Is there
understand
something
that.
you're not telling us, Cecilia?
I don't understand what that means.
Nothing. Something borrowed, something blue.
Is this an
Yeah.
Agron thing? Is it like a? I don't get it.
No, I keep making references to things that nobody understands.
Okay, I'm done with Sturge. She says to the.
So
Sorry. I
Oh,
was just
go
saying I failed to. I'd never even described Rogar, but I don't know.
I'll give you another chance in a bit. But
Sure.
the youth, upon knowing that he doesn't need to search the carriage, closes the door and then begins to walk you towards the manor. There is a large set of double doors in the front that are partially open, and from within inside, you could hear the sounds of music and people talking. As you enter, Rogar, you're the first one to enter. What
Mhm.
are you wearing?
I'm wearing my plate mail, but it's all nice and shiny. It's been glossed up. And I had Ruan. Ruan was very excited at the thought of me going to a ball. He dolled me up, basically. He's much more into fashion than I am. So he braided ribbons through my beard and little bits of flowers in my hair and gave me a nice little cloak. And then I have my tabard on, my crimson tabard, of course, which is newly cleaned and pressed and everything. But underneath it, I borrowed Stong's baby Bjorn thing, and I'm carrying Roomba inside of it because I haven't had Roomba in quite a while, and I was worried maybe he was missing me, or it was missing me. So thought I'd bring it along. I figured there'd probably be plenty of scraps at this party for Roomba. Also, he's very convenient because quite often people at these fancy parties have these little tiny bits of food. They don't serve good food. That are really weird and gross. And so, I can be very polite and just kind of feed it to Roomba if I have to.
Makes sense.
Okay, yeah. For whatever reason, this youth does not seem perturbed by either your outfit or the fact that you're carrying a gelatinous cube, but
Oh.
he is indeed perturbed by Caliph. So, as you enter the manor, you enter into a large feast hall, and this room is just filled with people, and you see like little groups of bards like around the area, like playing music and their instruments. Above the feast hall, you see like a great contraption that looks like a great glass globe with 3 different swirling pools of water in it, like one within the other, and they each seem to be swirling at a different time, like at a different pace. And it is just at that moment that the water swirls and it hits like a certain time. So you see like the number like 8 appear on it. And then there's like a little sound of a bell.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I know how impressive this is?
Yes, please.
Oh, I rolled it twice, but a 15 was the first one.
A 15. So you recognize this as so you've seen many water clocks throughout the realms.
Yeah,
But this
totally.
one is an especially impressive one. Like the normal ones that you've seen are like maybe the size of like a crystal ball, or perhaps like a coconut or a pineapple. But so this one is several times larger. It is maybe just about the same size as the interior of the carriage.
And
Oh.
gonna lean over at Artemisia and be like, this guy must be loaded.
Stirs surreptitiously, reaches into his pocket and goes, "Ooh, no more bag of holding."
So
You could
beyond-
have it. This is canonically agnostic, so the
yeah.
timeline is whatever.
The question is, would Sturge ever leave home without the bag of holding?
I believe I left my bag of holding and my other multicolored pantaloons.
This is why you need to stop buying so many multicolored pantaloons, among other reasons.
Cecilia, I took your advice to heart and had long ago stopped buying pantaloons.
So the other things that you notice in the room are like large pieces of art that look like they depict various scenes of battles and wars. They also strike you as incredibly expensive. And besides that, you see some other paintings that you find incredibly gaudy of like certain goddesses or gods. They appear to be done in the more modern art style, which in this case means like mixed media, like you see like people like patches of fur glued onto the canvas as what, next to paint, or even some like magic, being used to color some of the canvas. Besides that, you spot in the distance a large coat of arms, a stag above a lance. Inside of the room, you see a large number of people swirling about, but a couple of them catch your eye. Immediately in front of you is a young girl. She is about 5'4". She is dressed much more plainly than the rest of the people here at the ball. It's almost like she didn't get the right invitation. She's looking around, right at the entranceway, just as like she looks really bewildered and almost like a little lost. Rogar, with your passive perception,
Yeah.
you notice that she's like clutching her right hand into like a fist, and looks like she's kind of like biting the inside of her lip.
Okay. I will approach her and say, "Oh, these parties make me really uncomfortable. All these people and such, all these like fancy schmancy people. I'm not used to it. I'm Rogar. What's your name?"
She looks down at you, and I think I'm gonna have, so like with the way you look, she looks at the gelatinous cube on your chest, and she looks at all like the wildflowers and stuff in your beard, and I think I'm gonna have to have you make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
She's already very nervous.
Which is to say, persuasion?
Yes, persuasion.
Diplomacy isn't actually a skill anymore, but
11.
Artemisia is watching too. Rogar's taking care of it. She's not stepping in. But...
I got an 11.
She takes a step back from you. Her eyes go wide, and she like looks around for like other people, and her eyes settle on Calith for a moment, and her eyes go like even wider. And then she sees Cecilia, who is also a little disheveled, not quite.
I clean up good. I just think cleanup is a spectrum.
So
Sorry.
she locks eyes with you, and you almost get a sense that she's like, she sees you as an equal. She's like pleading for you to talk to her.
Am I standing next to Sturge still? I want to go talk to her.
Ah, an urchin in need of your expert guidance.
Let me make a rude
Cecilia.
gesture at Sturge first.
Aha.
Okay, so you approach her.
I will go up and I will be like, "Do you know where the buffet is, or the food?"
She like looks around and she says, "No, I'm afraid I don't. This is my first time at one of these events. I see the servants coming back and forth with trays of food from over that way," and she points to the east. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Here, we'll go find something. Artemisia, do you want to come with me? And I'm going to take this girl to I'm gonna squat up with her and take her toward the nearest servant that seems to be a food person. And I'll say, did you get a surprise invite to this party too?
She says, yes. Thank you. My name is Jira Westar.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Cecilia, and this is my sister Artemisia. Did you come with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Artemisia is going to look a little bit surprised when she says, "Oh, I got an invitation," because she's going to say, "Oh, so you don't live here? I thought perhaps you were family and your family was throwing this ball."
No. Certainly, I would never dare think that I belong to.
Okay.
Huh?
First of all, you got to come to this party, so obviously you should dare a little. Because second, we've got her. Artemisia's the best at this, so we're golden. Have fun.
I never did describe her whole dress. I realized.
To the point that look, she's so proud.
Artemisia's dress, so full skirt, bit of a train, deep, vibrant green, and it's got a bodice that's all beaded, and then the beading sort of tapers off into the skirt, and the skirt is just sort of sheer fabric, or not sheer, but it's got a sheer layer. And then the very little sleeves, but what sleeves they are sort of have little sort of sheer scarf type layers in different shades of green sort of over her shoulders. And her scales for once are not hidden, but are sort of like buffed up so that they're
Nice.
sort of like even shinier. And her hair is a little bit down on purpose. It's got one of those like crazy sort of inset braids that like twists around, making a pretty pattern, and then the rest of it is loose, and it's actually really long. If you usually see it with her up, you wouldn't think that it like goes almost all the way down her back, but it's very fine. So
Nice. You went all out for this. Unfortunately, it is at that time that you notice that there's actually a woman across the corner from the room, or across the corner from you in the room, who's wearing the exact same dress.
no.
Oh man, you
Oh,
She is
what-
coolly staring at you.
What cantrips does she have?
I got a
Turn your
seaming.
dress inside out.
Do you need a seaming? I got an emergency seam. Or you can have my scarf.
Red alert! Red alert!
Good scarf.
Combat
Which
time,
one of
roll
us
initiative.
is drinking something that's, some dark wine or
Oh no.
Caleb, have you joined the squad? You come up, be like, so what we can do?
So I think she probably will take you up on the theming. Because Artemisia has minor illusion, but that does not last long, so she's not going to spend the night just like recasting it over
Yeah.
and over.
You're gonna have to tell
So.
me what to do, though.
Um,
I might have to roll to decide how well I achieve your vision.
Emergency! Emergency! Seeming. What level is this seeming spell? Use all the highest level spells. All right. But you do see this woman. She like notices you, Artemisia. She's like locking eyes with you directly, and she's giving you like this cool, slight smirk.
Option 2,
Oh.
I hex her.
Option 3, Sturge says.
Starch.
Where'd you come from?
well, so Artemisia is going to try to like just like subtly like arrange it so that it looks like she's the one doing the seaming. So she just sort of like smooth her skirts, and suddenly her dress, she's going to ask for it to be dark navy with like some of the beads are silvery, so it's kind of night sky star kind of thing.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool.
And then she's going to look that woman right back, and she's going to give her best Marseille look.
Whoa.
That sounds like
Okay.
intimidation to me.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Do I just cast? So the only reason I'm asking is because while I think Cecilia wouldn't do her best, we have established she is a little fashion challenged. So do I just roll it, or do you gonna make me roll to see if I did a good job?
I think you know your sister well enough, and you know the things that
Okay.
she hates.
That's
that
fair.
you do.
I don't want to make it bad on purpose.
Yeah. So I
Right.
think you just do it.
All right, cool. Yeah, look at that. I know things.
Thank you. So she got a dirty 20 on the intimidation.
Oh my god. Okay. So describe for me one more time, like what exactly is the seeming doing? Like how are you?
So if she can set it up with Cecilia, how she wants is that she's going to basically sort of just kind of brush her skirts, like she's sort of settling them and giving them sort of a little bit of a flare, and then the colors change sort of.
Uh-oh.
We lost audio for
Lost
a
you
bit,
for a
but
second.
that was a great motion. That was with much gusto.
I will time it for as her hands come down to trigger the seeming.
Whoa. Okay, nice.
Is my audio back?
Yes.
Okay, it was my internet rather than my headset.
So the woman doesn't react at all, but she nods at you after it's done, and then she holds up her drink and she toasts you and then takes a sip, like a long sip, while still staring at you, and then goes back to just casually, coolly looking around the room.
I'm gonna lean to Jira and be like, "Who's that?"
Jira says, I don't know. This is my first time here.
Oh, I got the impression you knew these people and thought they were a little impressive. My apologies.
Well, I mean, this is a nobleman's birthday ball, so I assume they're all rich people. I don't know. I'm not used to events like this. I just work in Westgate at one of the small taverns, you see.
Which one?
The Blue Barnacle.
Are you looking for talent to perform out of curiosity? Because I represent a really talented bard. He's recovering from some things right now, but later.
A change in lifestyle. Change in life.
Energetic night.
And style. Also,
We'll
Sturge
catch
will be
up later.
generating voices that are going, "Ooh, did you see her dress change? Ooh," just all around the room.
A lot of nobles in the room actually like turn around and they're all like looking at you now, Artemisia, and a lot of them look like very impressed. A lot of people are starting to like toast you. So Jira kind of gives you like a slight nod, Cecilia, and she says, "I can talk to the proprietor. I'm but a humble servant there, so I'm not in charge of any of the bookings or anything."
This is very interesting. Why do you think you got an invitation out of curiosity?
Well, the lord of the manor, I have encountered him before. He has occasionally visited our tavern, and he's spoken to me on occasion.
Because he's secretly your father.
I mean, if that were true,
Are you hooking up with him?
Sturge
No,
plays
no,
a
no,
finger
nothing like
alongside his massively long nose.
she's beginning to blush a bit at your suggestion about like the hookup. But she says, "Well, ever since the city was attacked, he's been visiting me more and more. Do you think that we're related? Is that why? Do you think he's my father?"
I mean, to be honest, we haven't met this guy before. We haven't met this guy before, right? DM?
You have not met this guy before.
Yeah, we haven't met this guy before, so that's a hard thing to decide. But
If this were a chat book, yes, you definitely would be.
yeah, narratively, it's quite attractive. But anyway,
I mean,
Well, Artemisia's advice is if you were invited to this party and you were to ask him the reason, it would seem to me that he might be inclined to answer truthfully because he gave you the invitation. I wouldn't necessarily lead with any sort of conclusions that other people are suggesting. She looks at Sturge.
Are
right
you
off
my
the bat.
father, for instance?
You might
No.
simply ask the reason for the invitation and see what he says.
And failing that, we're very good at getting information out of people. And I'm super curious now.
Would you like to borrow this dagger?
No, she doesn't.
That's like stage 3 of the plan. Start, get with the program.
As you say that,
We move fast.
as you say that, there's like a tap on your shoulder, Sturge, and you turn around to see the servant boy, guy who drove the carriage, behind you, and he says, "Excuse me, I actually forgot to confiscate your weapons at the door. May I please have
Hold
that
out
dagger?"
the dagger. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. He takes it. And
You
then
better have this one as well.
And what are you handing him?
Another dagger.
He takes it and
and this one.
he's holding 3 daggers in one hand, kind of oddly. He says, "Any more?"
Better check my train. And Sturge just whips off that big train and just puts it over his arms. And he's standing there in his skin tight outfit, just yes.
The other noble people are looking at you like around the room. They're like whispering at each other, whispering to each other. He says, so the servant boy says, are there any more?"
I don't believe so.
All right. He turns to the rest of you and he says, "May I also have your weapons, please? They will just be at the front gate if you need them."
I don't have any. I just have this stick that I like to carry.
He nods. He kind of gives you like this little look, like I've heard this before. He says,
No, in Rashomon, it's customary to carry a trinket from a beloved one that's died, and this is my grandfather's femur. That's
"Give me a deception roll."
28.
He nods and he says, "Oh, I think I've heard of that before. I will not."
Thank you for
bother
respecting my customs. I appreciate it.
Have you ever been to Rashomon?
I have not, admittedly. And then he turns to you, Caleb, and he says, "What about you, milady?"
Yeah, nothing. Just this book that I don't know. It's fascinating. Please let me. Just let me keep it. In case things get boring around here, I'll just sneak off into a corner and entertain myself.
He says, "All right. That sounds fine to me. We also have a fine library upstairs to the east if you wish to go."
Don't tell her that. No.
Why not?
Never mind.
All right.
I'm
Yes,
sure you'll
why
find out. Do you have any water spells, by the way?
Who are you asking?
The servant boy. No reason.
He says, "I do not, but some of the other servers might be able to conjure water for you, and we have many decanters floating around the party."
That will not be
Is
necessary
Sturge
yet.
standing near Caleb at all?
I think he's in
Yeah, we're in
distance.
kind of a group, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
well,
true.
she's just gonna extend a wing hard enough to jab you.
Ah,
Brought that on yourself.
So, lastly, the servant boy turns to you, Rogar, and he says,
Aye.
"What about you, sir? Any weapons?"
Well, I mean, I've got my warhammer strapped on my harness, so I pull it out and I was like, "Oh, this is just for cracking nuts and such." Just kidding. Here you go.
He's just like stone faced as he like accepts it in his other hand. So he's got like 3
How long
daggers.
have you
and-
worked? How long have you been a serving boy, wait man person?
He says, "Well, I have been one of the Lord's personal valets for a long time, ever since I was young. I think he picked me up from an orphanage when I was, 4 or 5. He's been really good to me all these years."
That's a great story. How did you miss the giant axe hanging off of his belt?
It's not that I missed it, it's that there were other things to distract me. And he sort of nods at your like bone wings. I'm sorry if nobody's ever told you this before, but you are a very intimidating presence in a different way
Really?
than any motions to Cecilia.
Oh my god. Well, you made her night.
Well,
I
if
will
you have
never
no-
hear the end of it. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck getting her nose down from this angle further.
Oh, nice. He says, "Well, if there are no other weapons,
Mhm.
I assume that Lady Artemisia is not carrying any implements of war."
Well, I mean, where would I put them? I mean, in her big skirt, but she's not gonna go like hiking that up into like
Voluminous.
company to like get
Ooh
the
la la.
dagger off her thigh. So
He walks away from your group and he takes the weapons over to the front of the door, and then he exits out towards the left.
Sturge, you should have just hidden all your knives in Artemisia's skirts.
Oh, I would love to see you try to get those back in the heat of the moment. That would have been very entertaining.
I somehow suspect that Sturge did not deprive himself of all his knives.
Many things have come to pass while you were gone, Caliph, and one is that Artemisia is not so fond of the mage hand. So
So besides
very few people are, in fact.
besides Jera and the woman who's still kind of coolly looking at you, Artemisia, there are a number of other people in the room who catch your eye.
Ooh,
Now-
pictures.
So, funny side note, all of these avatars are actually generated by like an artificial intelligence. I found it off of fantasy-faces.com because I've been on this quest for like royalty-free art for a long time for my D&D games. So if anybody needs royalty-free art for their D&D games, like go there and grab these. So, is there anybody here that you would like to speak to first?
I'm curious about the lady with the center part and the highlights on the top row, the third one.
Ah. All right. So I'm going to assume that you guys just approach as a group, unless one of you says you split off. Is that all right?
Well, Rogar stays close to his friends because he's not good at mingling.
Sturge is going to head off, but not out of earshot. I want to be able to appear out of nowhere at need, and just look around to see if there are any magical treasures.
and I think Artemisia will probably split off, live down to your expectations. But
As
You gonna
she's
go
head-
get discount Geralt there? Or Geralt, excuse me.
Oh my god.
Oh wow!
Wow, that's such a good burn. Discount Geralt. All right.
Take that, AI.
Yeah. Everybody knows everybody knows who you're calling out. All right. So Cecilia, Rogar, Calith, we will do you first.
All right.
You head over.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as Artemisia walks off, I have a high suspicion of what she's doing, and of course, in my wish to support, romance, I'll touch her shoulder and say good luck and cast guidance on her so she can get a +4 bonus to her check whenever she's flirting, or at least her first check.
Kayla's gonna go along with Cecilia, but she's also gonna find the nearest servant bearing a tray of food and just take the tray.
Are you gonna share that?
I mean, sure, if you really.
It's gonna take like a fistful of whatever it is. What is it?
Okay. I don't know, but it tastes good. It does taste good, right?
So, you managed to grab a small bowl of a really cold soup, and inside of its murky green liquid, you see like little bits of something like floating around in it. When you eat it, it's got like this like room temperature, gritty texture, and it's also got like hints of it's really like earthy herbal flavor along with like some sort of chewy substance in it.
Ah, welcome.
Are you
I
sure it's
retcon my
Cecilia?
choice.
Wait, did you just have her grab a bowl of matcha bubble tea?
No, but that is a really good guess. I mean, matcha bubble tea does not currently exist in the realms, so if you wanted to invent it, you could start a fad. Oh, hello, Raiders.
Are you
Welcome.
sure Cecilia just went and
Hello.
grabbed a couple handfuls of that?
Quick, somebody make a skill check. Take advantage of that advantage.
Yeah, so Raiders, we're doing a little murder mystery right now. This is a one-shot. Currently, the Irregulars are meeting a lot of the people who are in this nobleman's birthday ball.
I would like to slightly retcon my action because it doesn't make sense to grab a fistful of soup. But I will stick my finger in this soup and taste it.
Yeah, so you actually are reminded of something. This sounds like a dish that Stong has told you about many times before from the Cormier Small.
Oh, do I know the name of it?
Yes, it is eel and snail soup.
Oh, it's the Orcish thing. It's eel and snail soup.
Nice.
It's
Cool.
not bad, but it tastes like half a bowl to get used to it. And you need that chili oil stuff Stong puts on things
Rogar,
with the vinegar in it.
It tastes like free. It's delicious.
Tastes like free.
The servant person next to you says, "If it is not to your taste, milady, I can certainly have the kitchen order up whatever it is that you want.
Wait, like whatever.
Within reason."
Okay, let's
Look at
just cut
Kayla.
away from Kayla through because she's gonna spend some time just like getting all the free food she can.
Dreaming,
Old habits die
hamburgers,
hard.
bubble tea,
I want those like
tacos.
green grass dumplings. That's what I want.
Kayla's gonna make sure she's
Green grass the holiday, not the filling. Don't put grass in the dumpling.
Yeah, I
That's
was like
not
trying
what
to
I
parse
do.
that for a minute. I'm like, okay. But all right, so
I
we're
would
going
like
to
some liquor on the rocks. I mean ice, not rocks.
we're gonna sit Celia and Rogar and Kaelith. You're standing nearby, like thinking about food orders.
Before we go, can I ask the servant who this was meant for?
It's meant for anyone here. I have a tray that I carry
nobody
around and-
ordered this in particular. You just said you could make anything, so I thought maybe this was going to somebody and we should apologize. Okay.
No, not that I know of. There's a large amount of eclectic food here. Some of it is actually good, and some of it is actually just for exoticism.
I appreciate your candor.
The noble people like to have a little thrill, you see. Culinary adventures. Not fit for real thrill seekers like you, adventurer.
Yes, I definitely seek thrills. I definitely prefer thrills over naps.
It's good to know.
Let me know when those dumplings come out, and we will go talk to the lady I indicated, the person I indicated.
He says, "Will
They're a
do."
bit dimly
and he
lit.
walks away. So you approach this person who has just been giving like everybody like this really intense glare the whole night, like just like trying to grab anybody's eyes that they can, and then just staring at them for maybe like 3 to 5 seconds before moving on to the next person. And then this person locks eyes with you, said Celia.
Are we having an intimidation off? Are we having a glare off? Is that what's going on?
They seem to get a little glimmer of recognition, and they smile and approach you.
Interesting.
This person saunters up to you with a grin, reaches for your hand, grabs it,
Presumptuous.
and then stares you in the eye as he lowers himself and kisses it.
Ah, okay, that's a thing that's happening apparently.
And he says, "Hello, my name is Barashaw Sen, and what is your name?"
gonna just look over at Rogar like, I'm sorry, what is happening here? I'm Cecilia Dobaskaya. Joink.
Beautiful name, beautiful name, beautiful name. So, how old are you, Cecilia?
Ooh.
47.
Says, oh, okay. You know, I'm much younger than you, but I
the
like a little
deal
bit
here?
of age to my wine. A little finely aged spice, you know. Do you like younger men, Cecilia?
No, but
Kayla's been
Rogar
eating
does.
soup and she just like threw a bottle into the
Rogar
bowl.
blushes. Aye.
Just gonna shove Rogar in front of me like a human shield.
Hello.
Wait. We were just wondering, since we were invited to this party a bit abruptly, if you knew the Lord, whose name I've forgotten at this point. It's
Erdwane Shalesar.
Yes,
Shalesar.
Erdwane Shalesar. Yeah, we all know him around here.
Yes, I just saw you over here looking like you were ready to have a conversation with someone. And Rogar said, look at him, let's go talk to him. And I said, okay, Rogar, if you insist. Sorry, Rogar.
So Barishaw looks at you, then stares at Rogar, and then looks at you again. He says, why, I can talk to both of you at the same time. I'm
Oh,
really
good.
good at conversing with multiple people. I have many talents.
I love that I misread this character's profile, like portrait, so completely that I was not prepared for this.
No,
Okay.
sometimes that happens at a party, you know?
Yes.
Like you spot
Standing
someone
in
from
the
across
shadows,
room.
looked like an unassuming young lady who was not too styled up, is actually a saunterer.
Yes.
Kayla's gonna jump and be like, I can talk too.
He looks at you and he like looks at your wings and then he like puts a hand on your wings and then like starts to begin to like
Oh.
stroke the contour of it.
Oh.
And he says, interesting. These are beautiful.
Okay, never mind. Real quickly.
Personal boundaries. Personal boundaries.
He says, look, I cannot help it if I am just young and full of life and zeal. You were my age once too, right? All three of you?
I feel like Cecilia pulled this 47 ploy and it's like, wait a second, you did not take that as a brush off, you took that as a fact. Okay, I don't know how I feel about
Undeterred.
this, but I'm not gonna correct matters. Cecilia is like 20 mumble, not 47. And she's a half elf, so. Anyway, well, okay. So how do you know the birthday boy here?
He says, oh, you know, us nobles, we always associate with each other. There's not really much else to do when you're rich and powerful besides have parties and hunt together and, you know, hold balls like this.
Oh, so you are also a nobleman. Are you from Westgate?
He says, yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm part of
Okay.
a minor house, but
Mm.
I like to think that lets me shirk responsibility and just enjoy myself.
No.
Is he
Clearly it
particularly
does.
handsome in Rogar's opinion?
You tell me that. You
When you see the
you
picture,
see the picture and you see how he's
does
acting.
that rev your engine, Rogar?
Barishaw Sen?
Mhm.
Oh, it looks kind of. I mean, so he looks kind of somewhat elven, sort of, ish. Yes. No. I would
He-
read it as sort of pretty
He does
boy.
have quite pouty lips.
Aye.
Yeah, you think that he might be a
I'm
half elf
judged.
or a human.
Okay. Rogar will say, "Do you see that woman in the green dress over there?"
No,
Oh no, wait. What's her
no.
dress now? What is it now?
It's navy,
navy. Sorry.
but
See that?
also it's like don't.
No.
Doesn't Artemisia already have another target?
Oh, I thought she was just looking. Oh,
She
she had
was
a target.
looking.
She had a. Oh, I thought she was just going to mingle and find someone. Sorry.
So, but also
Okay.
this guy.
Rogar will
Guy
not say
Cecilia
that.
is like, I
I
don't
think
want to
she could-
wake up and find. Oh no, Artemisia never brings the guys home. She goes
Aye.
to their place.
I also
So
figured
maybe it's
she'd be-
fine.
She has quite the experience, I'm sure, at like brushing off people she's not interested in, so I figured she
There's
might be
that.
able to handle him.
Well, I did want to be like, oh, so you're one of those younger noble sons who has taken up the fashion of investing.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, well, I'm sure we could discuss investment opportunities.
We just
He winks at you
interviewed-
and he says, yes, we can. Would you like to
Oh.
go discuss it somewhere a little more
Thinking,
private? You can invite your friends.
I will invite my friends because really, Rogar is our finance guy and Kalith here is the real estate guru. And, you know, what I have to offer you is the construction of, you know, since the city needs to be rebuilt, we're thinking townhouses.
He says,
Townhouses. You know that part that got smashed when that one real ugly castle fell down? I forget whose it was, but it doesn't matter. They haven't come back to claim it. And so we're thinking clear it, townhouses. We have some very eager buyers from up north in Cormier.
And from Rashomon.
he says,
There's a bunch of
oh.
orcs that want to move.
he says, you meant like an actual investment, like work.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do the work. You don't have to do the work. You're the vision guy.
He
You're
says,
the vision guy and the money guy. And those are two things I think that you have just in huge amounts. I can tell by looking at you. You're a vision guy.
he says, look, you don't need to compliment me anymore if you want to go have a more private conversation with me. But if you want to actually talk about investments, I think you should talk to Lord Erdwane himself. He's actually one of the top richest, the top level investors in architecture and rebuilding around here. That's how he got his fortune in the first place. Otherwise, if you're desperate, you could go talk to that other old guy over in the corner. And he points at, what'd you call him? Like Budget Gerald?
Discount.
Discount Gerald.
Discount Gerald.
Discount Gerald, yeah.
You could talk to old Discount Gerald over there.
I don't get that reference.
It's another noble. You don't worry about it. But
Rogar was going to do an insight. Is he seem like someone who's vain? Like as he's doing this, is he seem to be like acting as if he's very like conscious of the other people in the party, how they're like if they're looking at him or how they're, you know what I mean? Like is he very image conscious and putting on a? Does he seem vain, basically?
With your passive insight of 18, yes, he does seem very vain.
Okay, as he's going on with Cecilia, Rogar will use thaumaturgy to cause whispers to seem to come from around the room, like of you know, oh, why is he talking to them? They're so beneath him. Like, or maybe he's losing it. Maybe he's losing his touch, you know, kind of a thing. Maybe he's losing his confidence if he's working so hard to try and flirt with someone like her. That type of whisper.
So there's actually like a large amount of music playing in the air. So like, is whispers something that you can put like right next to him?
I can target, I think, where it appears. So it would seem to be coming from really close behind him.
Okay. You do that, and then he sort of like has like this like annoyed look on his face, and he like turns around, he like snaps his head and like turns around to the source of the sound, and he sees like another group of nobles there, and he thinks like they're the ones like talking about him, so he like rushes over there and he begins like saying like, "Hey, which one of you said that about me?"
Interesting. But
He's starting to
So
get
did
into
he
it with him.
point any to where oh my god. Say the name of the Lord one more time. I'm gonna write it down this time.
Erdwane Shalesar.
Erdwane Shalesar. Okay. So Lord Shalesar, did he have a point where he is?
No.
Dang it. I don't
Um,
want to get into it with more of those people, but I'm gonna keep in mind that guy is willing to talk. Just have to be alone with him.
yeah, so he's starting to get into it with like the other nobles that are behind him. So, what would you like to do?
Rogar feels bad and maybe casts calm emotion on them.
No. She's gonna.
No.
Cecilia's gonna like put her hand up and be like, I wouldn't bother. They want to have a fight.
You see,
entertainment for them.
Okay.
yeah, and a moment
alright.
later, like you see Barishaw like sort of like suddenly like grab the nobleman's like collar, and you think he's gonna punch him, but instead they kiss.
Oh. See?
Rogar's very confused, but very, very happy. Like somehow he got someone to hook up.
You're like, I don't know how it happened, but it's a win.
It's a
I guess
win.
At that point, he pointed us over to Discount Geralt, so I guess we'll go over there. Or that's where Cecilia's gonna say we should go. Maybe pick up Caliph if she didn't. You did rejoin us though. Where am I?
Kayla's been around the whole time. She's just been receiving tributes of food.
Did you eat my dumplings?
Oh,
Jesus. Caliph.
She's definitely ate your dumplings.
You grab another servant and be like, can you make Roshini green grass dumplings?
oh, it's okay. Here. So Caliph has cast invisible servant or unseen servant, and so there's just like a couple platters of food just floating there next to her.
Oh.
It's like, do you see your dumplings here anywhere?
These
you
ones
do.
with the beet sauce on them. That's it. Thank you. I'm just gonna eat.
And those platters are just gonna follow her wherever she goes now.
That is a handy spell.
Okay, so your group heads over to Discount Gerald while I'm gonna go over to Artemisia real quick. What are you doing?
Well, so she was scoping out the guys who looked most like they might be half elves, or because the portraits don't look like anybody's a full elf. But if the others are going for Geralt, it looks like
we can interrupt.
Well, so how old is the guy with silver hair on the bottom left?
Oh, let me look here. You might have to roll an active perception for that because you're studying him.
So I rolled 20, so that's 21.
All right. You notice that there seem to be like the signs of aging on his face and in his hair. It all looks very natural. You do also pick up some like unnatural hints of like manipulation to his face to make him look a bit younger. But you would guess that he's on the older side. North of 40.
Well, I have this moment where I'm like, I mean, Artemisia, she can't say anything about robbing the grave because, like, Lilton.
Yeah.
Robbing the grave.
Well, robbing the grave.
40 is like 1 foot in the grave.
Hey, stop trying to horn in on Kayla's thing.
Artemisia is like 21 or 22.
Wilson, that would be more like robbing the museum. So,
so the guy on the bottom right, should I do another perception check to see like what kind of age he looks like, and does he also look like maybe he's got half elf?
He's very smoldery looking.
Yeah. So give me another perception.
Okay.
So
Maybe
the two in the
dial.
bottom right are actually standing together. You easily can surmise that they're like a couple.
All right. Well, and I got a
Sorry,
6.
Rumpus. A 6, huh?
So she is not really getting nothing from him. So I think she'll go for the silver-haired guy, just to talk.
Okay. So you head over
the
to
fox.
the silver-haired one, and he's kind of standing around talking to a group of like other people. They all seem to be just like riveted at his every word. And as you like approach closer, you could hear that he seems to be talking about like business. He's like, I have a great opportunity for you. If you invest with me, you will not regret it. I will reclaim the former glory of my house with your help, and I will make all of us wealthier than any of us have ever dreamed. Take a chance on me, friends. You see the rest of them look like a little skeptical.
Me and Eric had like a total sync.
Well, Artemisia is gonna arrive and listen for a little bit, and then when there's a pause, say, so the glory of your house. What projects in particular are you going to be undertaking with these fine people's wealth?
He turns to you, and his face lights up. He smiles, and he says, "Oh, why, I have some projects of a very sensitive nature. I'm afraid that we haven't actually quite met. So I'm not sure I can divulge all the details yet." And then he bows and he says, "But I am Lord Erdwane Shalesar. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting?"
Oh, Lady Artemisia Taron, hero of Westgate.
"Oh, are you one of the Westgate Irregulars?"
That is correct.
"Well, I am so glad that the two of us had this chance to meet. You know, Westgate recently has been devastated and is in dire need of not only repairs, but defense.
I would completely agree.
So, we also have some rather well-armed neighbors who have a surplus of weapons and goods, neighboring us. So, I would like to propose that I purchase their old stocks of weaponry and we resell them to those here in Westgate."
So that sounds to be of great profit to you and your investors. But in what way does it better the life of those who live in Westgate?
He says, "Well, they can sleep more soundly knowing that their city is well defended."
But they have the heroes of Westgate to defend them.
That's true, that's true. I would never dare suggest otherwise. But you can't be everywhere at once. Who's defending the city right now while you're here at this ball?
You have a point.
Look, I understand how hard it can be to be a defender of the city. You have to make tough choices about who to fight, who's right and who's wrong. And I think you have great judgment. So, if I can get your patronage, I believe that I could also convince the rest of these fellows here. What are you thinking?
Oh, I would have to discuss with the rest of the Westgate Irregulars, of course. If you wish to talk business. Now, if you wish to while away the time with more pleasant idle talk for any portion of this ball, then I could provide that sort of conversation personally.
It says idleness. My life is nothing but idleness lately.
Just say hook up in a closet. Be active.
I would really like to be able to reclaim some of my family's old fortunes. I would really like to be able to work again.
Well, that's a good goal. She's gonna look around for the others because clearly he's not interested in what she's interested in. Are the
You
others
see them heading
getting
over.
there? But yeah. And
You were
she'll
right there.
motion you all in and then give the introductions. The other heroes or some other heroes of Westgate.
Did you lose Sturge? Did we lose Sturge?
I'm sort of waiting for Sturge to
I think
decide when to
Sturge
pop
lost
in.
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sturge
Because
kind
the
of-
conversation Cecilia's having. It's like, did you lose Sturge? Wait, did we
Sturge
lose-
is conspicuously absent.
Yeah, it kind of does that.
Ian Sturge.
So, how do you know our host?
He says,
Lord.
"Oh,
Lawfully, Lord Dalwyn.
Erdwane and I, we go a long ways back. We've been friendly business rivals for a while.
Mhm.
But you know, at the end of the day, we help each other out when needed."
Nice to have allies like that.
Yes,
Get your back when things go rough.
I would love to make more allies tonight, as I was telling your wonderful sister here.
Oh, you guys gonna make allies later?
He sort of like looks at Artemisia, then looks at you, then looks at Artemisia, and then his eyes go like a little bit wider, and then he says, "Perhaps."
Gonna lean over and be like,
He's interested in business, apparently. Frustratingly.
if you want a guy who's like not interested in business but is a disaster, I have another suggestion. But I think you should take another tour around the row. Out of curiosity, where is Lord Shalesar?
Oh, he's probably upstairs at his office. He's been taking meetings for the first half of this party of his. He should be out shortly though for the birthday toast. He like points up at the water clock, and you see that the hands are starting to go towards like the next hour. And he says he usually likes to make an entrance at the ringing of the hour.
Not much of a birthday, spending it taking meetings.
I'm honestly surprised that he's even having a ball at all. Between you and I, he's like the most unfun, work-obsessed individual of our entire group.
You guys are good friends then.
The best of friends.
Mm.
Rogar, with your
You-
insight, you feel like he's not telling the whole truth.
Has something happened recently that makes you doubt that statement? You seem, I hear some unspoken burden. I want you to know that you can share that with me.
He says, he sighs, and then he says, "Well, business has not been good as of late. My family's fortunes are poor. And Lord Shalesar has been trying to help me. Gives me some contracts wherever he can, but I'm afraid it's not really enough.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to find more on my own."
Okay, well, I have one word for you. Townhomes.
He nods and he says, I like that. Townhomes.
We have lots of eager buyers already lined up. We just need someone to invest in the construction. That's where
Oh,
you
you're looking for money. Like me to give you money.
Yes. Also to
Aye.
organize the building part, because gotta tell you, that's not really what I do.
Like I said, I'm short on coin at the moment. Otherwise I would be interested. But I'll tell you what, if the deal that I was telling your half sister about works out, then I will definitely come back and invest in these townhomes.
Oh, what deal is that? Rogar says.
He summarizes the arms deal.
Oh,
Perhaps for the greater good of Westgate, you might think instead in terms of training people to defend themselves, gathering coin and doing a training program for people to defend their neighborhoods and their family, and in the case of anything going wrong ever again, and then they could hire themselves as security.
I mean, that's certainly a great idea. But I'm afraid that might be a bit slow for me.
Are you worried about someone attacking Westgate in particular?
I'm more worried about creditors coming in and taking all of my family's estates away from me.
Rogar says, are you currently, if you excuse my indelicate question, are you currently married? Adunas, are you here with your wife?
No, I'm not
Or
married.
husband?
Why do you ask?
Well, I would be happy to try and arrange something. Perhaps you could marry into a bit of money or status to help shore up your own families. I hear that's the
tradition.
Time-honored tradition. It seems to be quite popular in Westgate. The last person I helped to matchmake was very interested in that sort of thing. But
did you have
if I
a
can-
partner in mind?
well, I would be happy to try and help facilitate that. Help you find someone. Is there anyone in the party that might fit that description?
He chuckles, and his chuckle is like a deep belly laugh, and he laughs for about a good like 7 or 8 seconds, and then he says, "Oh, everybody here, we know each other way too well for that. But if you happen to find a wealthy single widower, perhaps from a more distant land, I would be more than happy to meet."
And of course, love would be very important. So I'll meet with you later to discuss.
You should add him to your portfolio, to your binder.
That's what I was going to hook up with Artemisia later and sort of compare notes. And
it is at that moment that you hear like the same bell chiming sound that you heard at when you first entered, and everybody like stops. The music just kind of like goes low, and from the top, the second floor, there's a balcony, and you see a man walk up to it. His face is hold on, let me move roll 20 real quick. His face is old, far older than anybody else here, and he looks like he's really like haunted and grizzled. He has like a very stern expression. Even though it's his birthday, he does not smile a single time as he gazes down at the room and looks at everybody there. As the chiming of the bell subsides, he then begins to speak. And he says, "Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my 45th birthday."
I was going to say, really, really old.
Sorry about the age jokes. You know, I'm just rolling with what I'm given. So, he says, "I'm so glad that all of my friends are here to partake of my generosity once again. And I am far gladder here to see that none of you came bearing any gifts for me. Well, enjoy the rest of the evening, everybody." And then he toasts, drinks, and then just kind of he walks downstairs, and he's at like the foot of the stairway on the first floor, and his gaze is searching. You see him like searching the crowd for a little bit before he seems to spot somebody, and then he starts walking towards them.
Can we see who he's looking at?
Let's see. Well, yes. Rogar is the most perceptive one of you. So all of you notice that he's like looking generally towards like the southeast corner. But Rogar, you can spot out that he's like looking directly at Jera.
Sturgis theory.
He seems to be focused on Jira, I say to the others. But
Does it
maybe
look,
that'll put her at ease, he says, because she knows him. at least.
Does it look fatherly or hookup-y?
You can't tell.
Murdery.
You can't tell.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
It's like it's too far. They haven't
Yeah.
quite gotten together yet. If you have if you have any decision about what you'd like to do or your intent, please let me know, and I'm gonna hop
Ooh.
over to Eric in the meantime.
I would like to go over to Jira as quick as possible since we're now very close friends.
What about the rest of you?
Artemisia will follow Cecilia.
And Rogar would follow them because, again, doesn't really know anybody.
Kayla?
I'll go too, and she'll be like, "You can each take one of these baubles off my wings if we need to give him gifts."
Did
Good
he
thought.
just so he read it right? Did he seem pissed that nobody brought gifts, or like glad nobody brought gifts?
No, he seemed like a little bitter. Like he's basically just like casually spitting out facts and pointing out like how people aren't living up to his standard.
Got it.
It's like when your parents says, "Oh, I see you still don't have a full-time paying job.
Yep.
Take Kayla's
Glad you're
bubble.
enjoying your youth."
We'll wrap it in the scarf and tie it. Artemisia, I'm pretty sure you know how to like fold a napkin, so you could probably tie this bundle artfully. Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so there we go. We got an actual present.
Oh,
Just throw in the one earring.
Just
Nice.
tell him it contains the essence of the Night King.
Whoa.
That's it. I guess it doesn't matter because what's he gonna do? Check?
I know, right?
oh
No.
were these like the crystals that broke off of Sturge in the house? Is that what this is? Or like the goo, the crystallized goo? Is that what those are? or-
No,
No,
don't
I-
ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Eric, in the meantime, what has Sturge been doing?
Sturge has wandered upstairs in search of something interesting, magic items to pilfer.
Oh, okay. You're trying to get upstairs. Okay. You do notice that there are two guards like guarding the stairway up. How would you like to get upstairs?
Are there any less obvious nooks and crannies that I could secret myself in for a moment?
So from the main fest hall, directly in front of you is like a large staircase that goes straight up half a story, and then it splits off to the left and right, and then goes up the remaining half the story.
Hmm.
And there's banisters, around the stairway.
I see. Is there somewhere I could go and cast a spell unobtrusively?
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos and there's a lot of noise going on right now. You think you definitely could.
Make a tent of your train, and then nobody knows what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right.
On multiple levels.
Yes, I think we'll just go for the invisibility.
Okay. You managed to find a little corner and then cast invisibility on yourself.
Mhm. All right. And then I will cautiously approach the stairs, see if the guards react. Maybe they could still see me.
Give me a stealth roll.
Mm-hmm. Do I have advantage for being invisible and such?
You do.
Okay. Oh well, I only got a 15.
Yeah, as you make your way up the steps, you're doing pretty well. You're not bumping anybody. You're managing to like smoothly dodge out of the way of people who are like coming up and down the stairs. But right before you approach the guards, one of them just happens to turn towards you and like nudges you a little bit, and like they get a little surprised by the bump, but they look confused. Like they think that maybe it was just like part of their imagination. You have a moment to react. What would you like to do?
I am going to try and slip past them
How?
by use of magic, obviously.
What are you casting?
All right, let's see. So, Here we go. Come on, roll 20.
If you're gonna
Work
play
with me here.
Steven, you should try to cast at least 2 things.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to. So here was the first spell. Okay,
Okay,
And
greater
then-
invisibility. What is the next?
that's right. And then I am going to do. Lets me. It's basically like Misty
Nice.
Step, except more powerful. Just skip past them.
Both of these are concentration spells.
I guess that's true. I will. Okay, I guess I won't do the second spell. I will just try and acrobatics my way past them.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
Backflip.
That is a 10.
Do I have
Um,
advantage because I'm invisible and stuff?
not in this case.
Invisible
it.
makes you more flexible, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that didn't work out.
Yeah, so with your 10, you attempt to like jump onto the banister and then just like run up it at an angle and hop off of it on the other side. But one of your
Didn't work
feet
out.
slips. Yeah. One of your feet slips out from under you and you
Ah.
fall down to the ground below.
Ow. Do I take damage from falling?
Sure. You take 1d6, 3 damage.
Ouch. Okay.
If you kill Sturge by falling off banisters during this adventure,
that
you will
would be
never hear
funny.
the end of it from Steven.
And
It's
he's
not
finished off by a
canonical.
ladder.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Ow. I'm lying there still invisible though.
You are.
I roll out of the way so that nobody steps on me inadvertently.
I'm just picturing that, the gif of Homer fading back into the bushes, but instead it's like Sturge rolling back under a table or something. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so you're sitting there like nursing your wound. You notice like the other regulars talking to Lothlane Stalwyn, and then you see you hear the voice of Lord Shalesar, above you. You hear the speech that he makes, and then you see him descend the steps near you, and then start heading over towards the southeast corner of the room.
Mhm. Well, I really need to get past those guards. I wish there was some kind of distraction. I am pretty good at making distractions, though.
So are you trying to think of a distraction in the meantime?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cut over to the other group then while you try to
Yep.
figure that out.
hmm
Cecilia, Artemisia, Rogar, and Calith. You approach Shalesar just as he is getting up to Jera.
Clear we
Yeah.
approach Jira, just if that changes trajectory.
You do have
We're
a
gonna-
chance to get between the two of them first if you wish.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
that's a good idea.
Artemisia is there to help or to back up Cecilia, because clearly Cecilia is the one who's gonna like do the main supporting, but Artemisia is definitely not getting in the way.
Okay. I think what Cecilia is going to do, unless somebody stops her, is as she approaches Jira, she's going to go, Jira, there you are. You have to try these dumplings. And then she's going to look up and say, oh, Lord Shalesar, there you are. We have a gift for you. And then she's going to like pull Caliph up. Or who is Artemisia has the gift because
Yeah.
you were wrapping it. She's going to
Yeah.
kind of pull Artemisia up. We
He-
met your friend earlier.
Yeah, so Shalesar is like just walking, he's walking towards Jira, and then you do that, and he like stops 2 feet short, and he kind of just stares at you for a moment, and then you see there's recognition in his eyes, and then he approaches you. He says, "Ah, you must be the Westgate Irregulars. I'm so glad that you're able to make my party. Is that a gift you said you had for me?"
Yes.
We were honored to receive your invitation, and Caliph will tell you about what is special about this gift.
He turns to Caleb.
And Rogar will. give
Why
her
don't you
guidance.
unwrap it first? And then she's gonna just watch for his reaction first before she says what she says.
He unwraps it. He unwraps it like really carefully with skill. Like he doesn't try to tear the paper. He's one of those people who like unpacks it step by step. And then he picks it up and looks at it with a blank look. And then he turns to you and he says, "Thank you for, what is this?"
Heard about the night masks?
I have.
This is the soul of the Duchess of Venom.
Oh, the soul of the Duchess of Venom.
Turned into jewels
Whoa.
for your ornamentation needs.
Or simply to display. To show you have powerful friends.
All right.
Also,
One
there's
of
this-
you-
Does he seem happy? Or just confused? Or
One of you roll me a deception check with advantage because it is a group effort. You can decide who.
who has the highest deception?
I have a +9. I think it should be me.
Well, Artemisia is similar, but I think
Okay.
Cecilia would be the one who would have the impulse to
Mhm.
fast talk him.
Okay, so that was
And Rogar come down to her guidance.
23.
Nice. He like grins and like it is like a crack on the face of a rock. He nods and he says, "Thank you. This is a most precious and unusual gift. I am a man with much money, but I'm afraid even my wealth could not procure something like this. Thank you."
Well, you are very welcome. Maybe don't flash it around too much. We don't want her successor getting any ideas. We didn't actually kill the Duchess of Venom.
I thought that was to be killed.
It's fine, don't worry.
He motions like the valet over, and then he hands it to him, and then he like motions him. He points upstairs, and you see him like running up with the earring in his hands, and then he says, "Well, thank you for that. I'm really glad you were able to make my party, and I would love to talk with all of you in my office privately. There's a matter that I'd really like to discuss with you."
Oh, well,
Certainly, of
okay.
course.
No time like the present.
Do we,
He says,
mm,
"Unfortunately, I must speak with this young lady first," and he motions to Jira.
Oh,
Of
of course, of course. Cecilia's gonna like make significant eye contact with Jura and make sure that she's okay. Just be like,
She seems to nod.
do you need anything?
She says, "Lord Erdwane has always treated me with much kindness. I'm not sure what business we have, but I mean, everybody will know that I'm in his office."
God, I feel like she's the one who's gonna get murdered, but okay. Well, if you're okay, then we'll just follow after you. Is there's like a waiting room upstairs that we could just, wait our turn in so you don't have to go around looking for us later?
He says, "I'm afraid upstairs is off limits for party guests, unless you're invited. I would much prefer it if you stayed down here."
Okay. Do we have any spells that would like follow her in somehow? Maybe she's not gonna get murdered.
Don't think
This does say rich guy
while you
gonna
all
die,
are-
not poor waitress gonna die. So
I've looked at
Meta knowledge.
clairvoyance. I looked at clairvoyance and I didn't take it because Sturge has it. I try not to take the same things that you all have. So like,
we need to find Sturge.
Yeah, we need to send Sturge to
Okay.
keep an eye on things.
While
Well,
y'all
we
are
will,
figuring that out real
See you
quick,
later.
I'm gonna go over to Eric real quick, and then I'll come back to you. So,
So the chat pointed something out, which was
smart.
I forgot the spider climbing shoes, which means that I'm definitely channeling Steven. So did you get my message that I
also did.
sent? Okay. Did I get up to the top of the stairs?
So do you want to narrate it then? How this happens?
I don't know. I'm invisible. I don't.
Spider Sturge. Spider
Okay, so Sturge falls from the banister because this Sturge forgot about spider shoes. And
You
so,
stepped on the side of your foot. You flipped off.
yes. And so he falls to the bottom and takes a little bit of damage, but that damage triggers his Misty Escape.
Right. Teleport
So-
up to the top. Promptly fall a couple more feet, probably.
Yes, like onto your back, and it hurts, and it's all that
Really
you can not to
Sturge
make a
had that.
noise.
How? Oh, I should really do better about this. Well, get up, dust myself off.
Roll me a
realize-
concentration save.
Oh, yeah, okay. Realize that nobody sees me when I'm invisible, so I'm not having to impress anybody.
Joke's on you. People
made
have
it.
invisibility.
You did. Yep. So you managed to keep your invisibility up, and now you are on the second floor.
Well then, to work. And I'm gonna go and look for magic items or treasure.
So up on the second floor, you see that there seems to be a larger room and a smaller room to the east, and then like a larger room and a smaller room to the west of you. There is a guard posted at the door to the west, to the smaller room to the west.
See. That's probably the room that I'd want to go in. All right, I'm going to make a noise, which is like I look for a suit of armor to push over or something. I would draw the guard that way.
There is the coat of arms that you saw coming in. It's hanging up on the back wall above the stairs.
Perfect.
It's quite large. So how would you like to knock it down?
Is it like hanging?
Yes.
Okay. Well, obviously, I would have to break one of the ropes that's securing it to the wall. So,
And the rest of you are
What?
like, where's Sturge? What is Sturge getting up to?
I feel like in this conversation we go, wait, if Sturge is anywhere, he's probably looking for magic items upstairs. So maybe this problem's already solved itself. Or maybe we're gonna have to go rescue Sturge. Either way, we get to go upstairs.
that's a good spell that I know can affect objects
Go find
because
some
we
more dumb
decided that
things.
it works that way in our campaign.
If you need a moment.
Mage hand, can't you just send your mage hand over? Or
Theoretically.
Oh, interesting.
you have
Oh, okay. I think I got it. The first one, just put a little dent in the wall. Second time I got it though.
So, Sturge is okay. So narrate what this looks like.
So I'm invisible, right?
Yes.
See this guard kind of at the end of the hall. My invisibility only lasts for a minute, so it's starting to wear down. And I'm like, well, if I were Sturge, what would I do? Probably jump up and cut that in some ridiculous way. But instead, I cast a spell. I send out a bolt of little green light. It just hits the wall next to the rope. And I'm like, and I send out the next one, and it does hit it because I rolled
roll for
natural
damage.
20. So
Yeah, roll for damage.
let's see.
When did Sturge get warlock spells?
Hey, you
I'm
don't
very
know
confused. You're right.
16
This is a meta
damage.
question.
this. Sorry, what was the damage?
16.
16. Okay. So, a little
Remember,
bit of
I'm attacking the rope, not the coat of arms itself.
yeah.
Okay.
So the rope is like a really thick, like sturdy rope. It's about like the thickness of your wrist. And your Eldritch Blast normally does not hurt inanimate objects, but I'm just rolling with it because that's how we house rule it. And it
I need to add that to the list of house rules.
So it blasts away a good chunk of the rope.
I
And, like-
did hit it with the third one though too.
Mhm.
Should I roll damage? It's another 9.
Oh, tell me the total damage.
Okay, a total of 25 damage.
Okay, so your first hits begin to like blast chunks out of the rope, and you hear like the rest of you hear like the sound of like this metallic creak and this like groaning of rope. So as Erdwane and Jira approach the staircase, you hear this sound, and a moment later, you hear the rope snap with like a loud crack, and then you begin to see like the coat of arms like plummeting down the staircase. You guys all have a moment to do something.
Man.
Nailed it.
Okay, can you go over what we're looking at here? Like it's coming down the staircase and Jura's in the way of it.
So
Okay.
at the northern end of the fest hall is a
Mhm.
large staircase that goes up half a story, like
Mhm.
straight, and then it breaks off to the left and the right and goes up the rest of the half story to the second floor. So in the middle of that is the coat of arms that's falling like towards your group, and you believe it's going to hit Jera.
Okay. Can I
Shatter.
cast banishment on Jura?
Yeah. I mean, what do you say, Kayla? What are you doing?
Shatter the coat of arms.
And just do these together. I
Yeah,
feel like
I like it.
doubling up is better.
Yeah, Artemisia, her impulse is to do telekinesis, but she's probably too far. So she's going to be sort of like running, but then.
Wait,
your
how
spells
far
gonna
are
get
we
there
from
first.
it?
You are about 50 feet.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
so I can banish her, unless you want. I mean, we're not gonna have time to negotiate, so we may try to do both at the same time.
We're
That's fine.
all try to do something at the same
Well,
time. I
and
was
then
going
it
to try and
probably
control.
starts to float, and then it chatters and makes
So-
it on. So
Yeah, because this
I'll
is
do
a
it.
moment that's like suddenly happening, like all of you, if you want to do
Just follow our
anything,
impulse.
you just
Gonna
have to
banish.
follow your impulse.
Gonna banish. Bye, spell slot. Loved you. She has to make a charisma saving throw. Or I don't know what happens if someone tries to banish you while something's falling on you and you think, man, I would like to not be here right now, but you don't actually know the banishment's happening. That's sort
What's
of
your
yours to
DC?
roll. 18.
She's resisted.
No.
I mean, you see my roll in the chat?
I say it's 17, but I assume
She gets
has
a
other
slight
things.
bonus, yeah.
She can choose to fail it. I'm just saying.
She
but-
does not know what's happening to her. She feels your magic like acting upon her. So
Okay.
Kayla, shatter. Roll me
Steal.
the
What?
roll me the damage.
I like how I inadvertently final destination Jera there.
18.
18 damage. Okay. You cast a shatter spell, and like a great chunk of the coat of arms gets blown away. It seems to be like cleaved into like two pieces, but a piece of it still seems to be headed towards Jera.
No.
Artemisia.
telekinesis. Yep.
Hey, what's up, Lark Network? Thanks for the raid.
Woo.
Does she get to roll an advantage now? Is that not how that works? I think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, we did say
Well,
that.
All right, this is how it
Te-
works, right?
Telekinesis.
That's how it works.
We are in the middle of a murder mystery one shot where
He's
one of the party
the
members,
DM, don't ask me.
one of the party members is almost inadvertently the murderer, maybe, and the rest of the party is trying to prevent it.
Murder mystery solved.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well,
I'm like,
technically, the
first
rest
you're
of you don't
secretly
know.
a warlock. Now you're breaking things. I don't even know if you're a Sturge. Anyway, telekinesis.
Yeah, I suspect someone took the spellcasting feat or whatever it is.
Okay, so you cast telekinesis,
Mhm.
and you manage to grab onto like both of the objects as they're like plummeting.
And then what
Are you
about-
grabbing
oh,
both?
I mean, so I can do one object, but if one is sort of shattered away, she's going to be grabbing the one that's still kind of intact and still moving towards Jira.
Hmm.
You just
Okay.
grab Jira?
Jiro might get a chance to save.
Because apparently she's suicidal. Okay.
Well, Jira's not sure what's going on right now.
But does she not want to not be there? I feel like that impulse.
Something's
would
falling
be-
towards you. You feel like magic working on you. I don't know.
I don't
So-
know.
But Artemides' impulse is to not just be focused on Jira, but to be like heavy falling object, like good for nobody. So she's trying to get the, I think, only one piece, but
Yeah, you fling out your hands and like you arrest the piece that's falling towards her in the air.
Okay.
The other piece is falling to the banister. You're not quite sure what's going to happen with it when it does. Rogar, you do anything?
Right. Rogar saw the thing falling, and he looked around, and he took the flowing water clock thing, all of the water flowing, and did control water to fling, like he water bended, and sent this, redirected the flow of the water at the tapestry to knock it back.
Okay. So the water from the water clock at the top like shatters out of the globe and just goes careening into the other piece, and it smashes against it and it hits it against the wall where it harmlessly clatters to the ground. Congratulations.
The
Music.
the murder. Can we spend the rest of the time eating hors d'oeuvres?
Everybody
No, I'm kidding.
is just frozen in the party. Like the music stopped, all the nobles are like looking. It takes them all a moment to register what's happened, and then they all begin to clap for you. Oh my god, the Westgate Irregulars, thank you. You did it.
Solve the problem they started. Yeah.
That they is doing a lot of work there.
It really is. Yeah.
For those of you who are down in the party, you don't know what's caused this, you don't know the source of this. And Erdwane walks back to your group, and he's got like a really deep frown on his face, and he's got like one hand on Jira's elbow, and he's like pulling her along with him a little bit, like still like firmly, like not really like hurting her, but like with like authority. And he says, the matter that I wanted to talk to you about, I think it's, I am going to have to move it up. So, look, come upstairs with me right now.
Okay.
All right.
And then he begins to escort all of you up.
Okay.
You walk up past the debris and towards the second floor. Eric, Sturge, what are you doing in the meantime?
Did the guard run past?
The guard that's standing in front of the room. Yeah, everybody's like run past and they're investigating the debris.
Cool. Okay. I slip past him and go over to that door.
Okay.
Is it locked?
No.
Okay. I go into the room.
Okay. You end up in a room that looks to be like a small, tidy study. In one corner, there is a bookshelf. In the middle of the room, there is a table with a rather nice leather chair behind it. In front of the table, there seems to be one chair that's made of wood, and it seems to be like slightly too small and maybe slightly like too tall for anybody to comfortably like sit in it. In the other corner, near one of the windows, is a small plant. It looks to be a cactus.
Damn. I'll look around quickly for anything valuable in here. Make an investigation check or
Sure.
perception. What would you prefer?
Let's do investigation.
All right. Hey.
Nice. Yeah, so you quickly case the room, and you believe that so in your investigation, you stumble upon, so you believe that the desk in front of you, you count the number of drawers on it, and you feel like that's not quite right. Those drawers do not constitute all of the space of that desk.
Hmm.
There are 2 drawers.
I see. I'm going to look around for that secret compartment that I know is there. Checking for traps, obviously. What kind of
Okay.
check should I make? Another investigation? I'm trying to move quickly because I know that my time is limited in the room. So if people start coming, let me know.
Yeah. So as you investigate, you can roll me another investigation.
Okay. No, not as good that time.
Yeah. So like with the rush that you feel and the fact that like you're on a time limit, you don't get a chance to investigate it as thoroughly as you want to. So you don't find a mechanism.
Hmm.
In the meantime, Lord
We had
Erdwane.
at a point for a break.
Yeah, that's a good point for a break. So Erdwane brings you up upstairs, and then he begins to usher all of you into the room that Sturge is in. So
I'm going to
Sturge, you
hide
see
under the
door
desk.
open.
And Artemisia is maintaining the telekinesis spell. It's only because of danger, not because she wants to look like she's flying. Because she's floating.
Hey, welcome Raiders. Hi, Epic Realms.
Hey,
Um,
Epic Realms.
Sorry, Artemisia, you might have to repeat that. You don't want to look like you're flying. You're using telekinesis to do what?
To float.
To float. Oh, okay.
It's for safety, not for effect.
Exactly.
It's totally for effect.
We all float down here.
Yeah, so Lord Erdwane, even though you're doing it just for safety, he nods impressively and he says, I wish I had powers like that. It would have been quite useful many times in my life. So you all enter the room, and I think now we are, oh man, some raiders just came in and we are going to take a 10-minute break. Yeah. I mean,
We
we're
have a
a
chat
little bit
about that.
overdue for a break, unfortunately. So we'll be back in 10. See you soon.
Welcome back to the second part of our murder mystery as DM'd by Yang Yang Wang. Typically the player of Stong, this time the DM.
So we're going to start again with Sturge. So you are in the room and you see the door opening up. You hear it opening up and you see it opening up. You know that your greater invisibility only lasts about a minute, and he is like right at the end of that spell.
Right under the desk.
Okay, give me a hide or stealth.
I have
mean.
advantage because I'm still invisible.
No,
No.
No?
not in this case, because your invisibility is wearing off. It's wearing off right as you're ducking under.
I am real good at hiding under desks, I'll have you know.
It's one of your specialties, huh? Ooh, 24. That is quite good.
All right.
So as the rest of you enter the room, nobody has a passive perception that would detect that. So you enter the room and you spot, you see a really nice, tidy office. There is a office desk. There's a desk at the back of the room. Behind it is a very nice red leather seat. In front of it is like a wooden, almost like bare bone stool that's like slightly too tall for anybody to sit on it really comfortably. And there's a bookshelf in the back. And then near one of the windows, there is a cactus. So Lord Lord Erdwane walks to the back of the room along with Jera, and then he pulls out the nice chair for her and motions for her to sit down in it. She looks up at him and she says, "Are you sure?" And then he nods and he motions again, and she sits down in it. And he then comes over to the rest of your group. Now, Sturge, you are like right under the desk, like Jera's knees are like about to touch you. She is not like scooted into the desk yet. But just think about the moment. Think about the moment for a bit. So Erdwane comes over to the rest of you. Ah, interesting. Cecilia,
Yes.
how do you normally operate your... Okay,
My
so
elder sight.
I'm just gonna say that occasionally, even without like purposely activating it, you get like a little hint of something.
I feel like when I walk into a room, I do a check just in case there's, somebody who's disguised themselves, like a doppelganger, maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to turn it on when I walk into a room.
The entire desk lights up as magic.
Whoa. I'll kind of look at that. Just be like, it's a nice desk you have.
Erdwane like nods. And he says, yes, I'd like to have very nice, I have a lot of money and I like to buy the best that there is.
I did
And,
notice the water clock.
Yes.
Some high quality magic items that you've procured.
It's unfortunate that
Rogar
it
looks
was...
slightly embarrassed when she mentions the water clock.
he puts like a hand on your shoulder, Rogar, and he like pats you, and he says, it's a shame that it was broken, but it was just a thing at the end of the day. And I think you were doing good by defending me and Jera. Cecilia,
Yes.
also in the back of the room, you notice that the bookshelf seems to be lighting with magic.
Interesting.
So
I really want to look at these things, but I feel like the guy's gonna not appreciate me wandering around his office touching his stuff.
yeah. So Erdwane closes the door behind your group, and he says, look, I think that we all know that Jera here is somebody really special to me. Now, there are certain things that I need to discuss with Jera, just the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
But as the foremost adventurers in this area, I would really love it if your group protected her, no matter what happened.
What do you think's gonna happen?
He says, well, and then he like looks at her, and then he says, perhaps I could discuss that with you when she's not in earshot.
Okay. Do we have a... Oh, wait, silence will make us not be able to hear.
I can
it
do
either.
deafness on her.
Yeah, we can just make her magically not hear this.
Oh, can you? Okay, please.
Hey, I just want to point out, Rogar could cast deafness on her, and Kayla could cast blindness on her, and then she could really not be perceiving anything.
Is anybody going to ask her if she's okay with this?
But
Sounds like a plan. Let's
Certainly not Sturge.
I was about to say, what is that voice coming from beneath the desk?
Hey, I just got a great idea. You can cast blindness and I can cast deafness.
I'm gonna, while you're having this conversation, I'm gonna walk over to the desk and be like, Jera, we're gonna have a quick conversation and just explain to her, like, just for your own safety and comfort, we're just not gonna make you listen to the details, okay? And while I'm there, I'm also gonna kind of just like put my hands on the desk and see if there's anything I can tell about it. But I think I can't. Just tell it's magic.
Yeah. I think like with your sight, if you study it for a bit longer, you could tell that there's some sort of like transmutation magic on it. But when you tell her that, she then like she furrows her brows and she says, what do you mean? What are you going to do to me?
Well, it just means that you won't be able to hear us talking, so. And also you will just, it'll be like you close your eyes. It'll be like you fell asleep for a second. It's really, really easy. You just have to let it happen.
And I'll hold your hand the entire time, I say. Or maybe if you feel more comfortable, maybe Cecilia.
Yeah, okay, I'll hold your hand.
She says, well,
I ordered you those dumplings. Would I steer you wrong?
no, I suppose not. Roll me
Make
a
a persuasion.
yes.
We're just gonna blind you. It's fine. 28.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Mhm.
She's like, yeah, okay. I definitely trust you, and if you think it's a good idea, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, if it turns out there's anything that you need to know, that'll be fine. But we do this kind of thing for clans all the time. Okay, guys, do it.
Great. Sharindla remove the burden of loud noises from you and give you peace. And I cast deafness on her.
Kayla's just gonna go like, boom, where'd the room go?
Okay. She reels for a moment, but as she's sitting, her legs kind of
Hold
jerk
it.
out in reaction to like the spells like being cast on her and her senses being robbed. Sturge, her
Mm.
legs kick out. How are you going to respond to that?
She hit me.
Well, I mean, if you're going to try to roll out of the way, you would do like a reflex save. If you had some sort of
Ah.
magic to react to it, you could do that. You tell me what you want to do.
Let's see. I'm probably gonna do a reflex save.
Okay,
or
so you'd
a
like to physically
dexterity save,
dodge.
but let's see. Yes. Yeah.
You do not dodge.
I do not dodge.
Okay, and then she, you take 1 point of damage from her kick, and in response, you make a sound and like you hit the top of the desk, and Cecilia, you hear the thump,
What?
and you hear
I'm gonna pull
Here's
Jira
gasp.
back under the way, and I'm gonna reach under and grab, or like grab into the darkness because I assume I look under there. Wait, no, guys can see you. Your invisibility.
My
failed. I'm
invisibility.
gonna yank you
ended.
out.
Oh,
You're like, Sturge!
fancy meeting you here.
Oh, Sturge.
Erdwane turns around and like stares at you, and he says, "What are you doing in my office?
I am appearing unseen from places unknown.
How long have you been here?"
As long as they've been here, because I was with them the whole time.
He like looks at the
Would you
rest
like
of
me to roll a deception check?
Yeah.
I got a
I'll-
16.
Is anybody else doing anything in response
I
to that?
will. I will
And we should put our face.
give him some. I was gonna say I would give him
not
some
helping.
guidance. So if you want to add a +4 to that.
Oh,
Sturge, I'd be
Wilgar,
like,
don't
oh,
do
Sturge.
that.
You're
Oh,
just
Sturge.
encouraging him.
Thank you, the cyber bard.
I
I
want
got
to avoid any-
inspiration.
Oh no.
Conflict.
Well, if the
Woo.
guidance. Oh, Jesus.
Dear.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
his eyes like grow into like small slits, and he says, "Do not lie to me. Do you not understand just how grave of a situation I've been facing?"
Not because you haven't
Actually-
explained it.
Yes, I agree with Cecilia.
He
I have
says,
been listening and I haven't understood your situation at all.
he points outside, like towards the direction of the stairwell, and he says, "That was not the first such incident that I've faced within the past couple of weeks. I'm afraid my home is not safe anymore. Not for me and not for..." And then he like looks at Jira and he says, "The ones I care about."
Just so we can contextualize this, the ones you care about, they're your children, partners.
He says, "I would like to talk to you about this. Oh, right, she is blind and deafened.
Yeah,
Yes.
she can't hear anything. So what's up? Hiding
Yes.
here.
I mean, indeed, as you have surmised, she is my daughter, but she does not know it yet. I
Hey,
wish
hold
to
on to that.
leave."
5 gold, anyone? 5 gold? 5 gold?
Shut it, Sturge.
He says, "You, get out of here. Get out of my office."
He's with us.
He's one of us.
I am.
He just does this. He
I
doesn't.
do.
He doesn't walk into rooms normally.
I don't.
It's just a personality quirk.
It is.
He says, do I come into your home and do I sneak around into your guarded quarters? And then do I
don't
lie
know.
to you about it?
I don't know. Do
We
you?
don't have
I
any
feel
guarded
frankly-
quarters.
It's really a problem.
I mean,
It's
if
all
you
right.
did,
It's all
look,
right. I will adjourn.
I feel
I will
gravely
leave.
insulted.
I will debark.
Cecilia's gonna grab Sturge by the sleeve, and
Ah.
she's going to she's gonna swap Rogar's hand with hers for Jira, and then just set a hand on Lord Shalesar's arm and be like, "Listen, Sturge has his quirks, but I am being completely honest with you when I say you are better off keeping him in the room that you're in than letting him run around your house wild."
I mean, that sounds like a persuasion to me. This dude is really mad.
Very
He-
compelling.
You
That's a
know,
very
he had a
good-
guard
exercise-
outside this room for a reason.
The
and-
Sturge exercised good
28.
judgment and just saying
Oh my
nothing.
God.
You just got eyes on
Yes.
him here.
Right.
You've got eyes on him here.
How many
And
28s have
otherwise,
you
who
rolled?
knows what he's gonna get up to?
Um,
Also, we have eyes on him here.
Rogar momentarily thought about like offering to cast a zone of truth, but then he looked at Sturge and he's like, "No, that's actually a very bad idea." So, like to reassure Erdwane. But
Would Rogar cast a fake zone of truth? Because I feel like we have an angle going here if you can do that.
he would
Fake
not.
zone of truth. Cecilia Cat does a deception roll.
No, he would not
Anyway.
do that. I'm sorry.
That's fair. We can't ask you to break your moral compass.
Erdwane is still visibly upset, but he nods and calms down a bit, and he says,
You want to make him sit on the stool?
please.
Don't make
Sturge,
us sit
sit
on
on
the
the stool.
stool.
Sit on the stool, Sturge.
I will pat Cecilia's hand, and then I'll go sit on the stool.
It is
And I'll look at the
incredibly
corner.
uncomfortable.
I will sit there and I will look at the corner and brood.
Now continue. Yang is going, why did I agree to do this?
Oh, no. This is Erdwane. This is Erdwane.
Oh.
He's like
oh.
massaging his temples, and he says,
Like, oh no, did we break Ying Yang as DM?
no. He says,
Not yet.
Challenge
Part-
accepted.
oh no, viewers, save me. So Erdwane says, while massaging his temples, like, look, the reason why I invited you was not simply to be an attraction at my party, despite what any of the partygoers might tell you. I know that you have done Westgate a great service, and I know that you are reliable. So I was hoping to talk to you about the manner of trying to safeguard Jira. At least until I could figure out a good way to tell her that she's my daughter and to give her her inheritance.
Wait,
She could come stay with us. Our house has many protections. Given past troubles, we have reinforced it greatly.
I do have a question.
Guards. It will have skeleton guards.
They just haven't come in yet. I have a question.
Rogar looked at her like,
Everybody's
Sturge also
ignoring
has a question.
By sneaking in, you lost your turn.
You know
sir.
what? You get to go last because of this. Why are you waiting to tell her?
He says, well, I'm kind of afraid that this whole society would be a little bit overwhelming. And to be frank, I think I'm also a little bit afraid of telling her the truth. It would mean more vulnerability than I've cared to show anybody in decades. Despite
Yeah, that's
what
true. She did seem kind of ill at ease down there.
Despite what appearances there may be, not everybody downstairs is my good friend.
Wouldn't have
Artemisia could train her in the ways of like courtly manners and such too, right?
That's I would be happy. If she herself wishes it. If she does not, I will not press it upon her.
You think word of advice? This isn't getting any less
But
true.
Who do you fear might be trying to harm her?
Says, I don't know.
All right, Sturge is about to fall apart. Lord Shalesar, would you like to entertain a question from our extremely naughty colleague sitting on the naughty stool?
Okay.
Might I suggest an epic quest?
What?
One worthy of the bards and of the stage that one might make an excellent act and play out of. Hide the truth from her, but place it in a treasure chest in a hoard guarded by a dragon, such that she has to gain great power and find the truth, but it will be tragically too late, for you will have expired of natural causes, of course, and then you will never be reconciled. And you know what? Maybe
You're
this
not
is better
allowed
in
to
my
talk
head.
anymore, Sturge.
You know, that's a fair point. But one should never overlook the utility of epic quests.
I don't know. Roger says, as someone who was raised an orphan and never knew my parents, I always wished I had. And if something were to happen to you and you never told her, she never got to meet you as her father, I think you might regret that choice. And she would regret that choice.
Also, there's only so many reasons. I'm gonna level with you. There's only so many reasons that a nobleman slums it down in a place like the Blue Barnacle, pays attention to a waitress. You should probably tell her which one it is. Because again, it's not getting any less true.
He says, I know it's not a good look for me, and I can only imagine what she thinks of me.
She likes you. She definitely had nice things to say.
Once again, you see him like smile, and again, it is like the cracks on a rock.
So you're worried somebody's gonna hurt Jira. You don't have any, it's just a generalized anxiety. You're not particularly concerned about a particular person.
He says, I am unmarried. I am getting older in the years. And so far, I have no formal inheritors. I have no formal children. If I think there would be a number of people interested in making sure it stays that way, while I would like to just make sure that she is safe and well taken care of. And frankly, I think that she is far too good and far too sensitive for this crowd and this life. I've not always been a good man. Sometimes you can't be a good man in order to make a fortune the size that I've made. But if I've done anything that I regret, it is that I cannot meet her on innocent ground. Like, it's not just her feelings that I'm thinking about. It's my own. I don't like feeling vulnerable, you see.
I don't think you have a choice here.
I have something relevant to add this time.
Okay. This is the plot of your next play. Nobody's listening to it right now.
No. Powerful men who lie to their daughters all their lives, it never goes particularly well for them.
What do you know of that?
Is there something I could roll to see if Artemisia
No, can
puts
we
that one?
insight check this?
Yeah, basically, you know, describe like what you would like to do, and I will tell you what check to do.
That was Sturge being very unusually sincere.
Seeing is what Artemisia now knows about Lilton and Fane. I want to.
Oh, very
Like, you're-
specific.
You should be the one making this check, I think. I think the rest of us have caught into the fact that Sturge is acting weird.
Yeah, but I think Artemisia would trig to that specifically. So, is that okay? Insight check.
Oh yeah.
11.
So one thing, Sturge. Maybe
you
I'll just
like?
message you something.
Oh,
Yeah, DM you something.
go for it. Go for it.
I
man.
am really
Because-
tempted to try to convince Artemisia to dispel magic on this desk, and I'm just saying that that stool is very close to that desk. It's gonna be like,
Yeah. I mean, I think I would also give you advantage to that roll because I do believe that you have like some good intimate knowledge of like your doubt. But also Cecilia,
I make an insight check.
wait 1 second. We'll see what Artemisia does first.
That's a 22 this time.
There we go.
Hmm.
Would you like to make a counter roll,
Oh,
Sturge?
what sort of roll? Like a deception roll?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bad luck for Sturge.
Okay. So, you see. 1 second. Okay. So now that you're paying much more close attention to Sturge, you see that there are these little details that seem to be slightly off about him. First of all, for some reason that you did not notice, his hands are both there.
Both hands.
And then,
No
You begin-
detachable mage hand.
yeah, then you begin to realize that, like, he's actually a little bit shorter than he should be.
Look, he's taller than me. What do you want?
So you begin to think that it is not Sturge at all. Do you have any guesses as to who it might be, or how would you like to call this out?
So
Dispel magic. I'm the devil on your shoulder. Do it.
I think what Artemisia would do is that she doesn't want Erdwane to mistrust them more.
So wise, so smart. Oh my god.
So
Yes.
she's gonna like put a hand on Cecilia's wrist and be like, I think I better take care of this. And then she's gonna turn to Sturge and be like, Sturge, I think we should talk in the hall. Though if you would prefer, we could speak in my ring if you don't wish to go with me out into the hall.
Ah. No, the hall is perfectly lovely. I saw it on my way in.
And she's gonna try to grab onto like his wrist.
Oh, I can
as they
walk.
go.
Look, now he's gone. That's kind of what you wanted. Lord Erdwane. Or Lord Shalesar.
So Erdwane looks a little bit confused by that exchange. He says, there seem to be great tensions within your own party.
We've been through some stuff lately. And just stuff I'm not gonna get into since this episode's timeline agnostic. But you know, Sturge occasionally is not our most publicly appropriate member, and you can tell Artemisia knows how to present herself, so I think she's just gonna get a little etiquette lesson, because that outburst, him trying to run his play by you, that was just unnecessary. But anyway, so back to the situation where your secret daughter, gesture at Jira, is needs to be protected from unknown threats. And also we need to encourage you to talk to her. I did have a small question. Are you aware of any magic items within this room?
He says, well, yes. I have many magic items in my manor, including in this room.
I
The
just wanted,
desk and
I just wanted to check, because I noticed, being a witch from Rashomon, I admired your magic items quite a bit. We make very good magic items in Rashomon, and I wanted to be sure you were aware because, as I'm sure you know, a magic item that is undeclared can often be a bit of trickiness. So, for example, your desk clearly has a very tidy transmutation charm on it, and I just want to make sure you were aware. Would hate for that to turn into, an owlbear or something in the middle of doing your accounts.
he says, I really appreciate that. I really am glad you are as capable as I heard.
Oh, thank you. You're too
Question of order. It's like the blindness, deafness lasts for 1 minute. Should I probably recast it? I think enough things have happened, so I'm gonna recast.
Yeah.
The
Also, Eric keeps
deafness.
trying to throw me curveballs, so 1 second. I need
Sure.
to.
It's
How long
gonna
does deafness last?
I am the DM. Usually.
not tonight.
Not tonight. It just means that I'm okay.
Now you're the chaos agent.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I do kind of want to. Okay, well, so Rogar, you're holding Jira's hand right now, right?
I noticed her starting to kind of shift a little bit, and I realized it's been about a minute, so I just recast deafness on her so she cannot hear again. And I give Kaelith the meaningful look, so she can recast blindness if she wants.
So we can take Jira back to Westgate and give her etiquette lessons and whatever you need. I don't know. But also, if there's a particular threat you're concerned about, we could just handle that too. That's more my side of things. You don't want me teaching her Rishami etiquette.
Also, Rogar had this thought, like Lathlane Stallman, I think was his name, the older gentleman who seemed to be like hard up. Like, if it sounds like Erdwane doesn't want, he wants to make sure his daughter's cared for, but doesn't want to like make her the new Lord, whatever, Shaldswain or whatever, Shaldsar, sorry. So maybe, and this other gentleman who is a longtime friend of his seems to need a boost in money and stuff. So maybe if like Erdwane sort of brought him on as like, I don't know.
You're gonna match make Jira?
No. No, Rogar wouldn't do that to Jira. But no, but more like make him sort of a ward. Bring him on as like a ward or someone to, if something were to happen to him, look, make sure to care for her and sort of make him the inheritor of his official whatever, the manor and the titles and stuff like that. But I guess that would be something Rogar would ask Artemisia if she thought it was a good idea, if she were still murdered. But she's not, so never mind. Okay.
Do you want us to go see if anybody's harboring bad feelings? We talked to a couple of your friends.
Aye.
Or acquaintances. The
If you could
Barishaw
figure
guy
out-
is thing.
Barishaw, an entertaining monkey. If you could figure out who it might be who is threatening Jera,
Wait,
then
are there-
I would be most appreciative.
Have there been threats? I missed that. You have had actual threats?
Yes, not only threats to her, but also to myself.
Ooh, do you have any
okay.
any
More threats to myself, but I believe they would transfer onto her.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Do you have any kind of record of these or like evidence?
He
Threatening
says
letters.
not
blood on the wall.
letters, but there have been multiple incidents. That's why you might have noticed the number of guards, the confiscation of weapons.
Mm.
Also, my valet has been low-key following you around all night. One second. So, Rogar, as you are maintaining your spell, you
Aye.
notice on the side of your eye, out of the side of your eye, that there is something amiss in the room. There is
Well-
like just the faintest disturbance of like a shimmering in the air and a disturbance of like dust in the corner.
What can
Okay,
you
Is
do?
there laughing?
Rogar will cast Trucy
Okay.
on himself. Yeah.
Ah, true sight, true seeing. Very nice. Interesting choice. So, you cast that spell, and when you look at that spot, Eric, do you want to describe what he sees?
Well, you see Fane standing there.
Up.
And yeah, she's, gaunt, dressed in her grayish black leathers, has her antlers, bright red, pink hair. She sees you at the same time you see her. And she's
Mhm.
like,
Rogar looks at Cecilia and says, Fane is in the corner, he whispers to her. And I don't think he would have guessed. Would he guess that? No, he would not. He would not connect that Artemisia left with Fane.
Chat's comments are so good right now.
well, I don't know. I don't know. Is Artemisia already gone? Like the door is closed behind her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as far as he knows, she left with Sturge, so he wouldn't make the connection that how is Fane back in the room, right? So yeah, he would
That's
just
true.
so he would just say to Cecilia, Fane is in the corner.
What? Okay. Lord Erdwane, just a moment, please. Excuse me. I'm just gonna go over to the corner and like reach out and seize a handful of whatever I can grab.
You
Yeah.
grab something.
Okay. I'm just gonna drag it out into the hallway.
And Rogar's just trying to make small talk, like, so those are very interesting paintings in the hall.
You're doing the worst job of getting this client, guys.
Yeah, Lord Erdwane definitely
I just
saw.
wanted to tell you about the
trying.
murder attempts. That's it, guys.
Yeah, he's just trying to tell you what's up, but he definitely
You know what?
saw.
Actually,
you
here's
grab
what
a
I'm
shape.
Can I say? I'm gonna start walking the road. I'm gonna stop because I was in the middle of something. Fane, I was in the middle of something, so I'm just gonna haul her back. And I assume Fane is slight enough that even Cecilia's not great strength
She's
is enough
pretty-
to maybe like pull her with.
She's pretty slight, yeah. She's like
Mhm.
5'3" and maybe 100 pounds.
And so you can decide if you're gonna fight. But I'm just gonna walk back over to Lord Erdwane, and I'm just gonna hold my hands like this, and I'm just gonna say, "Sorry, continue."
Man, I think he's so interesting.
So the
Fane-
illusion of Sturge is still out in the hallway with Artemisia, by the
Yes.
way.
So Fane, tell me, are you resisting or what are you doing?
No, I'll roll with it.
Okay, so you're just sort of like slack in her hands.
Yep.
Okay, so Lord Erdwane.
Oh, she's
I mean,
so assertive.
I'm with chat. Now Artemisia's not there, but we should be like, look, we already caught one person trying to get to you. Looking
Hey,
well already.
it was one of us.
I think we're hired. We don't need to we don't need to impress him to get hired. We need to like.
I see. The thing is, I feel like while that is the smart thing to do, Cecilia is like done with this, and she's not going to give Fane the power of interrupting at this point. She's just going to hold tight to whatever she's grabbed, what fabric or arm she's grabbed, and she's just going to be like, okay, yeah. So you've had some threats, some attempts, and I don't know if what I'm holding, if it's an arm, it's gonna like twist it a little bit.
Just to be clear, did Jira actually have any attempts on her or any threats?
Not yet, as far as I know.
Okay, so okay, because then I would be worried that someone knew the connection between you two, and that might narrow down who it might be. But
He says, I think everybody else knows I have some interest, perhaps, in her. I mean, they might have guesses. People are not dumb. I don't think it's a secret that I can really keep for much longer, so that's why I needed help.
Okay.
So the attempts in your life, what form? Is it things like that with like stuff falling on you?
Not me, by the way.
You shut up right now.
Yes, there have been various attempts. There was a poisoning. There was a creature that was let loose on my grounds. It
You
was
know
a
what kind of creature?
I believe it was some sort of lizard. It
Okay.
petrified a few of my guards before.
One of those kinds of lizard.
Yes, but
Real nasty lizards.
why do you keep whispering, and why are you clenching your hands like that in front of me?
This is it's a spell from Rashomon. Have you been to Rashomon?
I have not.
Oh, you should come sometime. The dumplings are amazing. Anyway, it's a minor. Well, it's more of a prayer than a spell. It's kind of for strength and fortitude and good luck
Consulting
in
your
endeavors.
ancestors.
And
You should
and
tell
honestly,
him one
I'm
of the
so
sayings.
concerned. I'm so concerned right now that I just wanted to make sure that we're the right people for this job.
You should
Do I
tell
need to
him
make
what
a roll?
Rashemi's saying.
You should shut your fucking face.
That's one.
That's our one. Good use.
Man, this is such an interesting situation.
I just want to
I-
know the clouds.
I feel like okay. So he's like, okay. I'm also not an idiot. I think there's something really weird going on here. Give me a moment to speak to Jira, and then let us talk again afterwards.
Okay.
Just go outside.
Gonna keep saying
And-
my prayer.
Go outside. Talk to your group. Get your shit together, and then come back in and talk to me.
You're right. You're right. We should just all touch base and figure out what we need. And good luck. Good luck. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Okay. I'm just gonna drag Fane out the door.
Okay. So, so Rogar, Kalith, do you do anything else before leaving the room?
I was trying to see if I had any kind of spell that I could leave behind, but I didn't think.
Inspiration
it's
for
too
Cecilia.
bad Roomba can't thank you.
Aw.
Can you like just drop Roomba?
Tell Rock. You just leave Roomba. It's too bad Roomba doesn't have language because you
I
can
was gonna
just
say,
leave
can
him.
you beast speech Roomba afterwards? But
Not a beast.
I like an intelligence of 2, I think.
no.
It's like it's not even sentient snot. It's just
You know who'd be helpful right now? Sturge. Okay.
I think Sturge is overrated myself.
oh my god, Fane, I swear to God.
So Kalith.
You know, I didn't mean for any of this to happen, but it happened. So
How
you
long
gonna-
have you been here?
the whole time.
Wait 1 second. So,
Rogar will as he'll lift the blindness and deafness from, or well, he'll
Just one
lift
of them.
his blind deafness, or the deafness from her, and he'll hold her hand and he'll say, "We're stepping outside for a bit, but I just want you to know that we are here for you as friends if you need to talk later." And I'll pat her hand. foot into the hole.
Kayla's just gonna leave the room and probably forget to remove the blindness.
Yeah.
It'll wear off eventually. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just
last
a
a
minute.
minute.
Okay. So you all exit the room. Erdwane closes the door behind you.
So there's an invisible Fane. There's an image of Sturge that's standing there
invisible
talking
Sturge.
to Artemisia. And I imagine Artemisia's giving him an earful. And he's just going, uh-huh. Uh-huh.
He's gonna haul the Fane over and be like, Artemisia, do you have a dispel magic ready? Because I have something.
Oh, I don't think that's quite
You
necessary.
can fix it yourself, Fane, or she's gonna fix you for you.
All right, fine. Are you sure? Because maybe this is what we want to have happen.
What's this week? What's this week?
I
There's
mean,
no
Hey,
week.
look. Decisions were made. Okay.
Artemisia's gonna put Fane in the ring, like if she can get a grip.
Keep
on-
her away from me.
You got, you know what? You have very few seconds to talk
Look.
and convince us that's what we want to do, because I'm kind of on Team Artemisia here.
Okay. So there's a hidden compartment in his desk.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's hidden in it. It could be dangerous, though. You said there were assassins coming after him, right?
You think there's assassins in his desk?
It's possible.
This is the move you're making to convince us not to stick you in the ring.
This is
desk assassin.
this is my first draft. My second draft is, how do you know that little girl isn't mind controlled to kill him? You just left him alone in the room with her. I mean, that's what that's what my dad would do.
Ugh, you wouldn't even have to mind control her. She could just be a really good assassin.
That's right. That's right.
But in case, here's the thing. Personally, I like Jira.
That just means she's effective.
Technically, we haven't been hired. I'm just saying.
I mean, all the more reason
But-
to put you in the ring and then walk back in there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
yeah.
the
But
question you need to answer, Fane. Why do we not put you in the ring?
if you do that, I can't help you
Why do we need your help? You've basically made everything worse right now.
because he doesn't know I'm here. You know I'm here. He doesn't know I'm here, which gives us an advantage.
Okay, so your plan is we let you walk around invisible, wreaking whatever chaos appeals to you.
No.
And
Wreaking
then
whatever chaos
profit?
appeals to you.
Yeah, okay. How is that supposed to happen?
Well, you give me instructions and I follow them like
Why
a
are
member
you
of the
follow-
team.
Why? Bane, you have not earned our trust, and you have not extra earned it today.
Well, give me a chance to earn it then.
Does we look like dummies? What?
I came along to earn your trust. I want to
Caleb.
be part of the group.
It is at
I
that
was
point,
lonely.
Oh,
Caleb, you're the one who's closest to the door. It is at that moment that you feel a vibration at the door. You don't hear a sound, but you feel a vibration.
Like something inside the room?
Yeah. It's as if something on the other side of the door, like, hit it or something.
the door open, Caleb.
I'm gonna knock. Is everything okay in there?
No response.
Chatter. Oh.
Is it locked?
Are you going to try to open it?
Gonna try and open it. Or just test the doorknob.
So the door opens inward. You feel there's like some resistance on the other side. The door knob does turn. Because you are not very strong.
Oh no, none of us are strong.
Push
Actually-
it open.
Give me an athletics check.
Oh. Aha! 13.
It's pretty good. You manage to push it open a foot, and you see on the other side of the door the fallen form of Lord Erdwane Shalesar.
Dang it.
Which man died?
Oh, Bashaba's balls.
And that is where we're going to end for the night.
Okay, did you just go, I got the fanciest undead minion in your head? Like a little.
I mean, Rogar would try to bring him back to actual life first. Before.
Well, we could do that next episode.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Eric, would you like to take us through the outro?
Well, thank you for joining us on this one shot, which is now a 2-shot murder mystery adventure.
I was
Thanks
planning
to
for it to be a
Yang
2-shot.
Thanks to Yang Yang Wang for DMing us through this. I have been Eric Scott to be the usual, but not always, and certainly not in this case, DM of this campaign. Playing Fane, a illusionist, warlock, and very untrustworthy character, but she means well sometimes, maybe. Anyway, take it away, Aaron.
I'm Aaron M. Evans. You can follow me on Twitter at Aaron M. Evans. You can catch me Wednesday mornings at 11 on twitch.tv/CNE Games, where I host Champions of Lore with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis and talk about the cool lore behind the game of our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Check them out at idlechampions.com.
I've been Rhiannon Held, and as many of us are writers and authors, and many of us have books, you can find those books on the Amazon widget on Twitch, and then on dungeonscrawlers.com. There's a page where you can find links to all of them. So check some of them out. And tonight, thank you to Meyer Doug and Shay for moderating.
Hey, I'm
It's your
Yang
turn.
Wang. I'm just gonna take it. Hi, I'm Yang Wang. Tonight we are also featuring the Ocean Conservancy, which is a nonprofit whose mission it is to protect the oceans. I've got like a bajillion windows open, so give me a moment. Sorry. So
You've been very busy.
Yeah, so they have a bunch of programs that protect oceans from all over the world. They have programs that not only deal with trash, but also help the wildlife and help educate people as to their role in how to be able to help create like safe, sustainable oceans. So check them out at the link below and check out their mission and consider supporting them. Thank you.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, hi, it's Emily Tang, and I forgot what else I'm supposed to say.
What have you got? Where can they find you? What have you got going on? And you don't have to worry about the other part yet, because we keep forgetting to plan the outro. Now that you're back,
You can find me in person because I hate being online. And
Do you have any
go
new
ahead,
projects to check
Randy,
out?
and I'll figure this out.
Oh,
Welcome
Magic the
back,
Gathering
Emily.
cards.
But don't really try to find Tracker down in person.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah, please don't.
that was not an invitation. The vampires stay away. All right, so I'm Rainey Anderson, and thank you to everyone who gave bits and subscribed and followed. Very much appreciate it. Keep us going. The fun continues over on our Discord. Come join us over there where we chat about all kinds of fun things about the game, about gaming, about hobbies and writing and other fun stuff. And you can check out our website, which has character and player profiles, recaps of all our past episodes, and more. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And until next time, stay scrawly.